Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The essence of Upanishad is none other than ourselves. The journey in Upanishad is we start from the virtual reality and we reach the actual reality. The virtual reality is useful, the virtual reality is accepted and it is beneficial, and yet it does not exist. And that which does not exist, we spend our whole life only in that virtual reality. Therefore, the Upanishad says that you start from where you are and discover what you are. And for that, one has to be very clear, this journey does not lead you to any place. There is no gain in this. Technically speaking, we call it as praptasya prapti. Which is already known, which is already experienced, that alone is rediscovered. I'll just tell you a small event about this. This happened somewhere in Jharkhand. I was staying with one Marwari family, a big family, and the building was 3-4 storied. All the brothers, sisters, old, young people staying together. And one day, one small girl, about 7-8 years, she was taking her grandfather, Dadaji, from here to there. So I asked her, I said, hey, what are you doing? So she told, keep quiet. Sound like. And then she took the Dadaji to here and there. For what? For searching for his glasses. So first went to the bathroom. Might be you might have left in the bathroom, not there. But you were in the temple in your puja room. Maybe it is in the temple in the puja. See? Oh, there it is. Maybe Dadaji, in the morning you went up on the top of the building, for fresh air. You might have left it there. She made that old man climb up 3 floors and went up there. Oh, it is not there. And he got tired and frustrated. I don't know where I left it. So she said, but you have to find out. You can't go without glasses. No, I'll forget about it. Let me sit down. I am tired. And when he sat down and put his hand on his head, oh God, I have started forgetting everything. And when he put his hand on his head, the glasses were there and the child was enjoying. I made a fool of Dadaji. Did that Dadaji get a new pair of glasses? It was already there. But he has somehow, see, now will we go into that inquiry? But why did he forget? This is how many of us have got wrong understanding, wrong approach to the reality. See, friends. Another thing, one child in a school was scolded by the teacher because he wrote wrong spelling. So the teacher scolded, who taught you wrong spelling? The child is innocent. He said, wrong spellings are not taught, they happen. See? There is no cause of ignorance. Ignorance is the cause of every mess in life. See, friends. So don't go into that inquiry. Why God created this world? Why people suffer? Don't go. Where you are suffering. Now instead of trying to change the things outside, focus your attention on a simple rule who is disturbed. See? Behind every disturbances there has to be somebody. If somebody is not there, there cannot be any disturbance. And not focusing attention on this source, we sit for meditation and in a hypnotic way we start imagining, oh, it was a lovely meditation. I never knew when I started snoring. And when the meditation was over, we were all awakened. It was very nice. See, friends, we hang around only at the level of the Prakriti, at the level of the matter. See? Disturbances, you get into a quiet zone, ah, how beautiful. But there you can't stand long. Once I was in Lonavala and I was doing some job on my laptop. So one gentleman came from here, elderly person from a very big organization. I said, hey, please hang around 2 minutes, let me finish what I am doing because I forget what I am doing afterwards. And again I have to do the whole thing. Please sit down. And instead of 2 minutes, it took 10 minutes. So he was sitting there. After everything, I said, hey, I am so sorry. Yes, what can I do for you? First statement, Swamiji, it was a frightening silence. Silence frightens the people. Therefore, you will see many of the people who sit for meditation, there are a few things which are done. One is cracking the joints. As if somebody is going to take your joints away. This fear comes only because we are slowly giving up the things. The other day in Lonavala, we are having 3 sessions, spiritual discourse. One person, after the lecture was over, and he just came running to the stage and he said, Swamiji, this is what I have been experiencing, but I get frightened. With you, I was sitting here, I was not frightened. But when the same thing I do in my house, I get frightened. And the fear is, will I again get inside the body or not? Suppose I go out and forget to, kahan se guzu? See, friends, this fear comes only because we are not yet giving up our hold on the body. Whether we like or we don't like. This is the way. Nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. And this can click only if we think with an open mind. No obsession about anything in life. See? Many of us carry many of, the rings on their fingers. Anguthi. They call it anguthi, but anguthe par kuch nahi hota. Nothing. And all these anguthi, there are stones. So keeping the stone on the stone. See? It is Shani Dasha and then Shukra and all kinds of funny things. But the real graha is Duragraha. No, it is okay what you say, we must have body disidentification. But then how will you conduct in this world? So what is important, this world or yourself? See, therefore I was bringing out these 3 points very clearly. Those who are lost in Adi Bhautik, they will be always think in relation to the world. They have the reference point, the world. Those who are on that Adi Devik level, they will be always thinking in terms of some kind of magic, some kind of miracles. See? If the miracles happen, he is a great master, What will you do? It is something like, my friend from USA. He has got a lot of money. So what? I am a Daridri. Think. That Mahatma, he has got many powers. So what? What about you? See, friends, we get carried away by this Adi Daivik level. And then our spiritual practice is what? Do this thing so that you can discover many powers. See? And in Yoga Shastra, Patanjali very clearly tells in the 3rd chapter, he brings about Vibhuti Pad, all the siddhis that can be invoked by anyone if you attain Sayyama. See, you will see most of the yoga students, they hold on only up to the asana. They don't go beyond that. If you study, Patanjali very clearly starts from the yama and concludes in the sayyama. Not dharana, dhyan, samadhi. After that, there is sayyama. And what is the sayyama? Trayam ekatra sayyamaha. When dharana, dhyan, samadhi together happens, then the mind is absolutely under control with reference to time, space and object. Such a sayyamit mind, when it is fully available, and if you focus that strong energy, like the dissipated sun rays do not burn anything, but when they are focused through a convex lens, they can become so much pointed that it can burn that particular point. In the same manner, our mind's energy is dissipated through this practice of yoga, then dharana, dhyan, sayyama, you bring it into a channel, in your tunnel, in a funnel, and then that state is called a sayyama. Now with this sayyama, you do sayyama kantakupe. Kantakup means the esophagus. When you do sayyama in the kantakup, you conquer hunger and thirst. Then you become a big Mahatma. This Mahatma ji, he has not taken food for last 300 days. Yes, he has not taken. What next? What does it mean to you? Does it mean we appreciate? Does it mean we give him certificate? We together hereby honor him, he is a great yogi. What next? See, friends, a real seeker is born when he is concerned only for this. Vedaisya sarvaihi aham eva vidyaha. See, friends, essence of Upanishad is this aham. Bhagavad Gita we all have studied, read, and you will see how many commentaries are there, and everybody brings out what he wants to say with the channel of Bhagavad Gita. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he brought out karma through Bhagavad Gita. See? Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he brought out knowledge through Gita. Madhvacharya, he brings about devotion through Gita. Mahatma Gandhi, he brings about the Avikampa Yoga from Gita. See, what happened if you take the whole scenario of Bhagavad Gita? See, the problem that was dealt with in Bhagavad Gita was only one. See, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. I am extremely confused about my identity. As to who am I? See, and all that was said in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Sashtanga Yoga, none of that was ever practiced by Arjuna on the battlefield. Between the two armies, he was not sitting there, Shuchodeshe, Pratisthapya, Sthiramasana Atmanaha. No. See, he did not study there, Upanishad. He did not chant the Lord's name. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yuddha, wait a minute, let me finish japa. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. No! Then what happened? How much we elaborately go on talking on Gita. But what exactly happened? Only one thing. Arjuna's word, Nashto mohaha, smritihi labdha, tat prasadat mayachyuta. My delusion about my identity is gone. That is all. We are all miserable as somebody. Unless we find out who is miserable, then we will come to know all those who are miserable do not exist. See, friends, show the husband apart from the man, show the wife apart from the woman. So who is the reality? The man is the reality or the husband is the reality? The woman is the reality or wife is the reality? Who is real? In one of my incarnations, I was a girl and got married to a boy. And you know, the American marketing strategy is borrowed from Indian philosophy. In India, get married to a boy and get two in-laws free, mother-in-law and son-in-law. And whatever is given free, it is nothing but to remove the occupied inventory space from the godown. So that is given as a free gift. So, when my mother-in-law, my father-in-law came, and because they are unwanted, they are useless. So I was so much frustrated, every day the same thing. Then, being the student of Upanishad, I started contemplation. Who is miserable? The daughter-in-law is miserable. Because of whom? The mother-in-law, father-in-law. So, is daughter-in-law real? And how the mother-in-law and father-in-law have come to me as a daughter-in-law, I started meditation. Not Chittavritti Nirodha, I started this meditation. Then one day I discovered, these guys came in my life because I got married to this dumb fellow. Then the wisdom dawned and I had decided, no more your wife, divorce, talak, talak, talak. And when I had given up my marriage with him, what sadhana I have to do to get rid of the in-laws? See? Swamiji, are you suggesting us? No, this is just an example. See, friends, that mother-in-law, that father-in-law who was torturing that daughter-in-law, all three of them are nowhere existing. And they were the one becoming miserable. See, friends, this is the essence of Upanishad. See, the other day I told you, essence of the Vedas is called as Upanishad. The essence of all the Upanishads is called as Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayaha. And this 15th chapter is the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. And this mantra which I will tell you is the essence of the 15th chapter. So, in the 15th chapter, Bhagavan tells, he starts from a distance. See me. Yadaditya tejaha jagad bhasayate khilam yach chandramasi yach agnau tat tejo vidhimamakam. I alone am expressing through the sun as the light. Oh God, you are far away. No, yet Chandramasi, that which is in the moon, that also is my Tej. Okay. But that is also far away. Never mind. Do you smoke? Of course. Take out your lighter. In that light, Agnaur, it is my Tej. Oh, you have come very close. See? Yet आदित्यगतम तेजः जगद्भासेते खिलम यच्चंद्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धिमामकम गाम आविश्य च भूतानि. गाम is पृथ्वी, the earth. I alone support the vegetation. Somo bhutva rasatmakaha. I support the life principle in the total vegetation. Okay, you are a vegetarian? No, no. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha. Oh God, so you are inside us also. Yes, he is sitting inside. We keep on eating the whole day, and that poor fellow with a big kadai inside, he is constantly pachamyannam chaturvidham. 4 types of foods I am there cooking for you. You keep on eating. 4 types of foods. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins and junk food. See, like that. Oh, you are in the peta? No. Now the last verse. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. I am the heart of everything. And mattaha. It is because of me. Jnanam smriti apohanancha. Jnanam is the waking experiences with the waker and the waking world. Smriti, the dream experiences for the dreamer and the dream world. Apohanam, the deep sleep experience for the deep sleeper and his experience of nothingness. Chakarat samadhi, I alone support these 4. Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi. After this, Bhagavan says, Sarvaihi Vedaihi Aham Eva Vidyaha. The purpose of studying Upanishad is to find out who is this Aham. See, I'll ask you few questions. You need not answer. Keep the answer in your mind. Who was the first president of Cambodia? I don't know. Who was the 6th vice president of America? Who was the person in your own lineage 10 generations before? 10. I don't know, even 2. It makes no difference. Whether you know these things or not, it makes no difference. But the real difference is if we do not know ourselves. Observe, friends, we are all miserable only because of this. The wise men, the great people, they live in the same world, but they are not miserable. What is the secret? This is the secret. They have discovered the correct meaning of I. This word aham means means not. Shoka means misery. Ashoka means no misery. Ham means hananam, destruction, killing. Aham, that which cannot be killed. Now find out who is that aham which cannot be killed. Very beautiful thing here. Can you kill your reflection in the water? You cannot kill. In the same manner, this ego, I, you cannot kill him because he doesn't exist. See? And the absolute self that we are can never be killed. Therefore, both of them are referred by the same word aham. One cannot be killed because it is real, other cannot be killed because it is only an appearance. It is not real. See, friends, therefore that which appears but does not exist is called as an illusion or mithya pratyaya. And because of not recognizing this, we do everything but do not correct the original error. And then what we do? We do charity, we go to holy places, we go to the temple, and we go to the church. This is not going to help anywhere, anybody, I guarantee. Not going to help. There's only one thing. Sarvaihi vedaihi aham eva vidya. And once we are convinced of this, then we will take the next step. If we are not convinced, we will not. See, in Bhagavad Mahapuran, before the original Puran begins, there are 6 chapters borrowed from other Purana, and they talk about the Mahatmya, the greatness of Bhagavad Mahapuran. Now, whenever we accept something on account of the greatness, then alone we will seek it sincerely. See, a boy and a girl, a boy accepts a girl not because of her greatness, but because of her wealth, because of her beauty, because of her abilities, everything. But all these gunas, they don't remain all the time. That is why they break up. But the same boy, he does not accept his mother, whether she is beautiful or ugly. He accepts the mother because of recognizing her greatness, Mahatmya. In the same manner, when we will recognize the greatness of this, you will find no difficulties walking spiritual path. All those who claim walking spiritual path is difficult only because one thing, they have not recognized the greatness of this, and second thing, they have not recognized the value for this. See, friends, I was in Germany. One girl, she was organizing my lectures. She used to chant all the mantras which are used for these yoga practices very well. She was doing all the asanas so perfect. Not one asana was done wrong. And her pronunciation of chanting the mantras, so beautiful. And afterwards, when I used to have my classes there, she will be sitting down. And I asked her, I said, this asana in which you are sitting, is it your original discovery? No, this is not asana. See how she used to sit. She'll be sitting with her base down and the legs will be in V shape. With this asana, you don't sit for listening to satsang. She was sitting like this. And the hands will go back, support. And the mouth will be non-stop, chewing the gum. Gum uthane ke liye. All those who are gum eaters, they are miserable. See. Instead of eating joy, they eat gum. Look here. Dumb. They will be sitting for some time. After some time, then it becomes difficult. Then she will take the pillow and keep it in front of her and sit like this. Ardha Bhujangasana. After some time, that was also difficult. Then she will straighten her back and bring the legs little bit this way, and the legs will be moving like this thing, and she will be sitting like this, on her chest. See, Purna Bhujangasana. And I am talking there on steadiness of mind. Can there be a better joke than this? See, friends, we have not recognized the value. For us, only this twisting the body, it is not yoga, please. Bhagwan Patanjali Maharshi clearly tells, Tada drashtuhu sarupe avasthanam. If you are abiding in your divine self, then only it is yoga. See? Chitta vritti nirodha has never happened, will never happen. We are cheating ourselves. See? Let there be thoughts, who cares? Like, let Swamiji talk, who cares? We don't listen. It is exactly the same way. Learn to be indifferent and abide in your divine self. That is the essence of Upanishad. See? So once we are convinced of this, there will be no difficulties. Because now we will not take this spiritual inquiry as a difficult proposition, but we will take this as a challenge. When you take spiritual life as a challenge, you will not give up. See, friends, we take it as a challenge. And in that challenge, hurdles come, difficulties come. We will not bow down to the difficulty, we will conquer them. So what is the journey now? So when we punch our GPS, there are 2 points necessary. Where you are, point of origin, what is the destination? Then only the map can be sorted out. See? One day one person asked me, Swamiji, I wanted to come to your house, how to come, please tell me. I said, where are you? Why you are worried about where I am? I said, I am so sorry. Take a flight to Moscow. From there, go to Honolulu. And from there, go to South America, Argentina. And from there, take another flight to Australia. And from there, come to Mumbai. And after you get down at the flight, come to Dadar. Why are you telling me like this? I said, I don't know where you are. I am in Dadar only. I said, why did you tell me that? See, friends, we do not know where we are. How can you start your journey? We are lost in this world in 2 places. Number 1, possessions. Number 2, relations. So, we start our journey. First, relation. As a husband, I sit for meditation. Net result, in your meditation, wife will come with a belna in the hand. Uto, uto, bahut ho gaya. Meditation. Where from we start? Or possessions. See? When we sit for meditation, pillow here, pillow there, all around pillow, IC, UC, DC, MC, and in that we sit, and yet there is no peace. See, try. These possessions and relations are the 2 burdens that we are all the time carrying in our life. See, friends. Therefore, when we sit for meditation, we must know where from we are starting. Thereafter, second thing, what we are going to achieve. Are we going to reach a place or some kind of funny thing going to happen? I felt so much, something hot going up. Swamiji, what was that? Oh, it was gas, smoke. Don't get carried away by, this is all happening in Prakriti. Nothing happens to you. Nothing happens. A simple thing, if you like to understand, is anything may happen in the space, nothing happens to space. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapaha, na shosheti marutaha. Bhagavan says, enam to this. We can refer to this as space. The space cannot be scratched because of the movement of the earth. Earth is constantly moving in the space. Will the space say, come on, yeah, don't move, I am feeling tickling? No. Then the waters cannot wet it. Space never gets sardi. Then the fires cannot burn the space, nor the earth can dry. So, if we have this notion, when we sit for meditation, something should happen. Hey, तुमको क्या हो गया था? मुझे तो light दिखा था. अरे मुझे दिखाई नहीं. Now meditation is search for a light, search for a light. If you want to see open the eyes, see the light and sit down quiet. No, I want to see the light with the closed eyes. Ram, Ram, Ram. Why make yourself miserable? Because we have this wrong notion that meditation means we will get something. I guarantee you, you will get nothing. It is a bargain of total loss. Don't get frightened. The same thing we do every day. When we go to sleep, what do we get? Nothing. On the contrary, we start losing everything. That time, we are neither rich nor poor, neither healthy nor unhealthy, neither man nor woman, neither mother, father, brother, sister. Everything is lost. In that loss, there is a total gain. See, friends. Therefore, the essence of Upanishad is, let us start from where we are. So we are holding on to the possessions and relations, slowly detach from them. That is why the importance is lesser the dependence on the worldly things and beings, more spiritual we are. Worldly things and beings cannot enslave us. Discover your freedom, discover your independence. But for us, small little things are enough to make us upset. See? Nothing in this world is important for us. See, friends, it is for this purpose tapasya is done. Like in India we do Chaturmas. Only Chaturmas, there are many restrictions self-imposed. During these 4 months, we will not eat onion, we will not eat garlic, we will not eat non-vegetarian, we will not drink, we will not smoke, we will not do this, we will not do that. And 4 months we go through. Afterwards, we take a revenge. Onion, garlic, 4 months I have not taken. Now put the onion and garlic in my tea. Right from the morning you want that. See? Is that sadhana? On the contrary, discover that 4 months you did not have them, still you survived, therefore they are not essential for your living. And discover total freedom. That is tapasya. See, friends, one of my friend met me in Delhi, elderly person, I think I told you. And he came to meet me on the airport. He said, Swamiji, I could not make it to your lecture because it is far away and I know you cannot come. So I thought, let me meet you directly on the airport. I said, all right. Swamiji, there is a good news. He is 75, 80. I said, I am sure you are not telling me about your marriage. He said, no marriage. Then I have stopped smoking. See, when he was Not smoking, he wanted to smoke so that he is happy. Then he became a slave to the smoking. And the real happiness that he discovered when I gave up smoking. Friends, the real joy is not in possession. The real joy is renunciation. See? Therefore, first we discover freedom from the worldly objects. Second thing, we have to discover freedom from the slavery to our own sense organs. How much slave we are about every small little thing. One day, one lady said, Swamiji, I am always envious of you. You go to so many places, so beautiful food you get to eat and all that. I said, you come with me, no problem. We went to Jaipur. If you want to die eating, go to Jaipur. Jaipurians do dieting, die eating. So heavy food. Marwadi food is very heavy food. And we had to go 3 or 4 times in a day. So I told her, you come, I have no objection. You need not attend any satsang. But for every food you have to come. Swamiji, to be very frank with you, I am coming only for that. I said, very good, you are welcome. Third day, morning I got up, ready to go for my morning class. She came, Swamiji, she came straight away. I was surprised. Came, sat down and held my feet. I said, what is this happening? Swamiji, please. So what happened? I will not come anywhere for food, please. She started crying. And what happened? I am going to burst open. How much you can eat? And here the people, they go on putting in your plate. You eat. I can't survive like this. I said, do you know what is the life of a Swami? You look from outside, oh, it is so comfortable. Hey friends, one more example I'll give you. I take tea without milk, without sugar. So one elderly lady, very simpleton, UP brand simpleton. I don't know, you people are simple or complicated. Anyway, so she was told, Swamiji doesn't take sugar and milk and all that in his tea. But he takes ghee, he takes of course. Nobody knew what she could do out of it. Because I don't take sugar, she added double the quantity of tea leaves. Boiling, dark like Ayurvedic kada. And in that, because I take this ghee, she added 3 teaspoonful of ghee. And Swamiji, this is for you. She was so innocent, so pure. When I looked at her, she was feeling so, I am giving something to Swamiji, so I took it. Swamiji, how it is? I said, it is very good, Mama. You like this? Yes. She scolded her daughter-in-law. See, you say, he will not like it. He likes it, isn't it something? Yes, Amma, it's very good. Again I took little sip. And then I had to go. So there was one Kamandalu with me. I said, Kamandalu, Prasad. Now it is a Prasad. Now she can't throw it away. And she was suffering and I was enjoying. See, friends, complaining is easy. Accept the world as it comes. Little bit sugar, little bit salt. How long? So first, we have to be free from the influence of the worldly objects. Second, be not the slave to the sense organs. Then we come to the activities of our life. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnam abodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Yukta means balance. Eating a lot or not eating at all Both extremes are easy to practice. Eating 3 times a day and very little, even if the food is very tasty, requires self-control. You will see most of these yoga conferences, I have attended so many of them. You will see the food is so extravagant. Oh God! Dahi vada, this, that, and so much as you. And there will be talking about, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam. Keep it in the room and then, chalo, jao. And for the namesake yogi, but the man is pregnant, dum. See? Where is this? The other day near Babulnath, I was coming by car. And Shyam was with me that time. And because of traffic, we stood there. There was one lady police and one man police standing together. I asked Shyam, I said, Shyam, is this man pregnant? The police was having a big belly and the girl was having a good figure. Actually, the girl should be pregnant and not the man, but he was looking so much. Yuktahar viharasya. We have to have perfect control on everything. See, sleeping, not sleeping. Take these simple habits. We keep awake up to 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And then in the morning, we wake up early, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. The whole biological clock with the nature, it is not synchronizing. We become nishachar. Nishayam charati saha nishachara. See? Day is meant for being active, nights are meant for being cool. But our night begins at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. See, friends, be in tune with the nature. You will be absolutely healthy. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And when we keep long hours late at night, you cannot begin your day in the morning. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Thus, slowly we start withdrawing from the outer world. And now, outer world, sense organs, laziness, etc. is no more an issue for us. Such a student is Bhrigu. He goes to his Guru Father Varuna. Bhrugurvai Varunihi Pitaram Upasasara Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tagam Hovacha Annam Pranam Mano Vachamiti. Such a student who has withdrawn from the world. Now he is only interested to know the truth. Nothing else in this world can ever attract. And after going to the teacher, no complaint. Only what is told, follow that path. Our problem is what we are told, we do exactly the opposite. See? You might have read many things about Shirdi Sai Baba. One particular thing I like very much in his life. There was one person who was staying with him in Shirdi. All the time, like some people are chipkesh. They don't leave you. So, Shirdi Sai Baba must have got disgusted. Get out here, 24 hours right in front of my eyes. So he said, you go to Trambakeshwar on that Brahmagiri mountain. Do their sadhana. No, I don't want to go there. I want to be here. So he was scolded. Whether you'll go or I'll hit you. No, I'll go. He went there. There he told, look here, you have this notion, if you hang around me, you will be benefited. You will not be benefited. Don't hold on to the person. Discover the principle. See, friends, There are many Mahatmas who are referred by their followers as Bhagavan. There are many of them. And they accept that their Guru Maharaj is really Bhagavan. Nothing wrong in that. And they keep on living with that Bhagavan not for a day or two, but 30, 40, 50 years. And you see the quality of their life. Disgusting. What is the use? See, friends, spiritual life is we have to change. When Bhagavad Gita instructions were given to Arjuna, the scenario of the war did not change. The war happened. It is Arjuna who changed. See, this is what essence of Upanishad. So after having heard, now we start. Annam brahmeti vyajanat annadeva khalvimani bhutani jayante annena jatani jivanti. He reflected upon how can this body which is made out of the food be the Brahman? Because Brahman is without beginning, without end, without modification, without gender. How this Guru Maharaj told me that you are, the body is a place where Brahman is available. I think something is wrong somewhere. Again he goes back. Prano brahmeti vyajanat pranadeva kalvimani bhutani jayante pranena jatani jivanti. Again he reflected on that. How can the breathing be the Brahman, the Atma? That which comes and goes, that which can be controlled. In pranayam, we are controlling the prana. Therefore, the controller is different from the controlled. No. I cannot be, the Brahman cannot be the prana. So he again goes back. Mano brahmeti vyajanat. Then he was told, now practice that mind is the Brahman. He again started reflecting on that. And there also, mind is manifest, unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest, unsteady, jumping in time, space and object, getting influenced by small little things. How it can be the Brahman? Again he goes back, Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tagamho Vacha Tapasa Brahma Vididnyasasva Tapo Brahmeti. And then Vidnyanam Brahmeti Vyajanat. When he came to know Vijnanamaya Kosha, the place where I is the presence I. When I tell, see friends, so this I is the Brahman. Which I? So many of them. I as mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, man, woman, Indian, American, Australian, young, old, hungry, unhungry, miserable, happy, self-made or made self. Which I? Which I am? This cannot be the Brahman. That he drops. Again goes to the Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj says, try again. And then be attentive. He gives up all tries, all efforts. And then comes to discover Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat Anandadeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti Anandam Prati Abhisamvishantiti. Saisha Bhargavi Varuni Vidya. Now be subjective. Is it not? In deep sleep, we all have only one experience, and that of bliss. And the deep sleep bliss experience is common for all. And then, Ananda Deva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante, all of us come out of that blissful experience. Anandena Jatani Jivanti. For what we live throughout our life, to become miserable or to remain happy. Nobody does anything to become miserable. When a boy or a married. For what? Why are you getting married? Of course, to become happy. What happens is a different topic. We need not discuss it. I have no experience, but you are all experienced. See, friends. Then we divorce. That is also only for getting happiness. In short, whether we get involved or we withdraw, the purpose of all our activities only to gain happiness, because that is our natural state. Be attentive. Therefore, the real spiritual practice by which we can reach the essence of Upanishad, our essential nature, is very simple. Number one, we act, we talk, we think. Don't do any action to get happiness. Let every action express happiness. Don't talk to get happiness. Talk happily. Don't think to get happiness. If I go there, then I will be happy. No. Think happily. Don't think to get happiness. Think happily. When you think happily, be attentive, you will not think. Those who are happy, they don't think. Those who think, they are not happy. How simple it is. In this world, intellectuals are intelligently miserable. Simple folks are happy when they don't think. See, friends, exactly this is what Patanjali meant in his sutras. Unfortunately, he is misquoted and misrepresented. Patanjali has never said that yoga is for reducing the blood pressure. He never said that. He never said yoga is reducing the body weight. First you eat and then you want to Patanjali uta. Arre? It's not for that. See his spiritual practice. What he says, sthira sukham asanam. That is our essential nature. Sthira sukham, steadily happy. And how can we achieve this? His own words, prayatna shaitilya. No efforts. Anywhere you put efforts, I is born. And this I is the culprit of all the miseries of our life. See, friends, but our whole life is only a struggle. One lady asked me this question. Swamiji, I am always envious of you. You run around the whole world. But how relaxed and cheerful you are. I want to be like you. I said, Mama, I am sorry, you cannot be like me. But why? Because no beard. See? Length of the beard is directly proportionate to the wisdom. See? If there is half beard, doubtful wisdom. No beard. See, friends, no, please tell me how it is possible. I said, Mama, only simple things. Your whole life is a struggle. You want to prove something to somebody, but you don't know what you want to prove and to whom. And the most important thing is, who cares? See, friends, this struggle makes us miserable. Prayatna shaitilya. Whenever we are with minimum efforts, we are natural. When we are natural, there is no ego. See, for example, if you are health-wise normal, your breathing is okay, BP is okay, you are not tired, you are relaxed. That time, we are breathing, even this recognition doesn't come that we are breathing. But if you have got, let's say, asthma, you know asthma means what? Grandmother-in-law. In Hindi, the mother-in-law is called as saas and the grandmother-in-law is called as asthma. So, if you have got asthma, that time how we breathe? Why are you breathing like this? Asthma. Whenever you are not normal, efforts are bound to be. Prayatna Shaithilya. Remain effortless in life. See? And these efforts will disappear from our life only under one condition. Again, Patanjali, don't forget, Patanjali is the very heart of our culture, if it is rightly understood. See? He again says, Ananta Samapattibhyam. When you discard your individuality and merge in the infinite, Ananta Samapatti is merging in the infinite. See, friends, instead of recognizing his spiritual practice this way, we get lost in all the non-essentials. Therefore, the essentials of Upanishad is discard all the non-essentials. It is for that purpose, tapasa brahma vijijnasasva tapo brahmeti sa tapo tapyata tapastaptva idagam sarvam asrijata. Even the whole world has come out of the tapasya. One day, one person asked me a very good question. He said, Swamiji, we understand, we do tapasya. Okay. But Upanishad tells that he also did tapasya. Sa tapo tapyata tapastatva idagam sarvam asrujata jadidam kincha satya taccha bhavata niruktancha. What tapasya he must have done? See? We do tapasya standing on one leg because we have got two. We can do tapasya without taking food for many days. That you can take. You can do tapasya. But what tapasya Bhagavan must have done? Think. Upanishad says, he did tapasya and created this world. Tapasya is living our natural state and adopting to unnatural condition. When you are hungry, you should take food. Tapasya. No. Today is Thursday, I observe fast. I went to a small village recently, and in that house, the farmers, all the animals around, and nice crop is there, the jawar and bajra and all kinds of things. Beautiful place. And an old lady. So I went and sat with her. And I said, Mama, you join with us for food? No, Maharaj, today is my fast, today is Guruvar, I don't take food. I said, no, today is not Guruvar, today is Wednesday. He said, no. I said, yes. Then she saw, see on the calendar can write anything. I can print and put it here, how does it matter? Then really I said, yes, today is Wednesday, it is not Thursday. Now she was confused. So think, today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. How does it matter what day it is? But we have no tapasya. Today I will not take food. So what is tapasya? Living the natural status and becoming unnatural is tapasya. So what tapasya Bhagavan has done? Naturally, he is non-dual. Ekameva dvitiya neha nanasti kinchana. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. That is a natural state. He has given it up. And he became, instead of remaining as the one, he became many. That is his tapasya. When we thus come to know that the tapasya is giving up, giving up, giving up. Paramatma gave up his non-dual status and the world is born. So, now the same Paramatma has to do another tapasya. Give up this duality and go back home to your essential nature. See friends, unless we are consciously able to recognize this process which is happening in us, we remain only at the periphery of our personality. External things are very nicely done, house is beautiful and furniture is very nice and the wall hangings are good and everything is good. But inside there is a big vacuum. Beautiful bed but no sleep. Change the pillows, doesn't help. Change the pills, doesn't help. Finally, pillow, that helps. See friends, is that life so much dependent on the things? Therefore friends, come back to your own self. Yad gatva nanivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Bhagavan says, once only you come to discover your essential nature, that's it. Thereafter, the Upanishad will tell us tomorrow. When one is abiding in the truth, what is his life? See? And that is the most beautiful part. The life remains fulfilled. And it is possible, friends, for every one of us. And remember, like we have to live our life, we have to die our death, so also we have to practice our own spiritual life. Nobody can do for us. You must have seen in many big houses, they employ Panditji to do the puja of the gods. And they are sleeping up to 10 o'clock. And if their Panditji comes late, they scold him. Bhagwan ki puja itne late kari? You sleep there like a pig. And imagine, we are walking spiritual path, religious path. See friends, there is no proxy. If I have got, let us say, hunger and I am very lazy, so I tell my wife, Honey, today you please take lunch on behalf of me. She will take also, but your hunger will remain. You can tell her, please take this quinine, I don't like, terribly bitter, So she will take, but your disease will remain. See friends, Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Nobody can help us, nobody can help us. Don't imagine Guru Maharaj is not a mule to carry burden of the fools. He has given us the direction, walk in that direction. This is the only way. Nanya panta vidyate yanaya. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.